Hello everyone, sorry about the delay getting to you, trying to sort things out in Discord with everyone. Welcome to Ark's brand new Tier 4 first ever race tonight. It is a realistic tier and we are looking forward. I'm just going to lose alongside our other tiers, and so it will be Abu Dhabi tonight. This is the same with the other tiers. Um, so the main thing this evening is realistic performance. So some quick guys and quick cars, some quick guys and slower cars. There's going to be slower guys and quick cars, etc. So really hoping English and myself are the admins for this year. And really hoping that get as lovely as we can. We'll explain in a second. Issue at the moment. Audio. Music. Yes, now I have sound. There we go. Excellent. Right. So just to explain a little bit, what English and I did, we had two pots of drivers, and we did a draw. One driver was drawn from each pot, and they are paired as teammates for the whole season. Okay, this season's a 10 race season. After we had our 10 pairs of teammates, we decided, based on what we believe to be pace, so there's every chance that we're wrong, okay, but based on what we believe to be pace, we've allocated in cars that they will drive in. So we're bound to have got some wrong. There's no doubt about that. If we've got it right bang on first time, then it's very lucky. But the two pots were sort of split into the fastest drivers and then the next 10 not so fast drivers. Oh, as we've got Siphon on his way round. He's never survived that. By some miracle, he's just lost his front wing and not actually retired. I'm not sure exactly how that's just happened. I did some time trial earlier on at this lap, and it was an absolute nightmare at this track. And it was an absolute nightmare, I'm not going to lie. It's so easy to lose it around here. There's so many places. I've forgotten what I was saying now. So yeah, so we put the so it is going to be a bit mixed up. But we will. The teams that the pairs of teammates are in are going to be reviewed every 2 races. So teams may find themselves racing a Red Bull now, but in 2 races' time, if they seem, if they're just simply winning races and things like that, or scoring too heavily, they will be moved down to maybe an Alpha or something like that. So, and it's the same for the drivers that are in the lower teams as well. So unfortunately, Can is not out yet, but he's in the Haas. His teammate is Art Fuggish, so it would have been him and Art Huggish in the Haas tonight. But if they're simply just not able to get through the field at all, then we'll look at it moving it. You get the gist in a way. So straight away, Reaper puts in 38.2. go provisional pole in the Aston. And I can tell you, because me and Reaper are having a little competition here at Abu Dhabi, that Reaper's time trial time is 35.0. So he's quick around here. Now, there's no way that an Aston Martin is 3.2 seconds off the pace. So that suggests that Reaper has a lot in the tank yet. We'll ride on board. Some more going over the line, by the way. Andrews has put in a 39.2. 39.3 from Mario. Gaza as well, 39.4. Faindis Cub, a 39.9. And Art Bertie, we are on board with now in the McLaren, as Kant goes fastest in the Ferrari, 37.7. I'm going to bring out some details so that might have validated the lap. Oh no, it didn't. Okay, still going. No worries. No real need in oh, we are full qualifying, 50% race, by the way, so oh, he has now invalidated through there, so we'll move on to El Capitan is round in the Aston. I will say El Capitan has joined us literally last second. He messaged me saying if you still needed some help tonight, I've become available, so thank you very much to him for doing that. Unfortunately, it does mean that he's not been able to have any practice in the Aston Martin, but I'm sure he's a good driver and he'll muddle his way through, no doubt. Let's go on board then with English, who is in the AlphaTauri and just on his way towards completing his first lap, probably a banker, I would imagine. It's pretty quick. He's going to go a 38.2. So he moves into P3 for the moment. I'm not sure he's backed out here. I think he might. Oh no, his fuel's low, so yeah, he definitely has backed out. It was Mario that was ahead of him on track, so let's just go with Mario to the end of sector 1. He's definitely going for another lap, so we'll stick with Mario in the Mercedes. He's less than a tenth down. Pretty nice through the hairpin. Just got a bit of curb. I prefer to just miss the curb there. I am going to try and join you on stream, by the way, in case you're commenting. It's just my battery is rather low at the moment because I've been trying to sort everything out. So get rid of that. Oh, I've just realised I haven't turned my phone off of Wi-Fi, so it might be affecting the stream. Oh, and it's got Bluetooth on, which makes it even worse. Right, okay. So onto data now. Right on board with Mario. Really difficult technical track, I would say, Abu Dhabi. You've got the two huge long straights with the chicane stuck right in the middle of them. Oh, he's just run wide. That's going to invalidate. But other than that, the whole of the rest of the track is tight corners and really trying to hit the curbs, but not hitting the sausage part of the curbs. And yeah, it's a technical track that will send you flying in no time. So it's understandable in qualifying that people maybe aren't, regardless of the car they're in, but they're nowhere near maybe time trial times, as Zyphon has invalidated. Obviously picked up a new front wing from that incident earlier on. Jon Snow in the Mercedes tonight. I suspect it's going to go fastest and does on a 36.4. He's bound to be quick as John in the Mercedes. But if he's too quick, he'll step down in cars in two races time. So we know it's not invalidated. Actually, Siphon started yeah, he's still unvalidated now. So let's go on board with Top Gotcha. Haven't seen yet. Still trying to get to stream. go on the right server, Greg, then you get the link. Okay. Hey, there we go. There we go, it's coming up now. Okay, I can see there's a few of you out there at the moment, so thank you for tuning in, guys. We've got a few more as we go. A lot of the people that usually watch Ark probably wouldn't even realise that, you know, they won't realise that we're going to be going live tonight. Just understandable until you get used to it. There we are, I can see the stream now, so any comments you make now I should be able to see, which is great. But I'm also going to put my phone on charge so that it's... otherwise I'm going to lose it at some point. So, Top Gotcha across the line. 140 something. He must have been validated and backed out. So, stick with him for now. English is retired. I don't know if that's in the pits. Hopefully in the pits. He's done enough. Obviously, full qualifying. 16 starters tonight. Should have been 17 actually, but somebody's either forgotten about us or fallen asleep or something. So we do have a full grid, by the way. We're not short of drivers. Zyphon finally gets a proper lap in and goes into P2 with Red Bull. Yeah, so we do have a full grid. We've got a few reserves out there tonight. It's just one of those things that unfortunately so many people at the same time couldn't attend. So, but we do actually have a full grid. It's always great to have a few reserves to back us up. More often than not, they're needed in my experience anyway. Stick on board with Top Gotcha, still going well at the moment. Nicely through the S there. Yeah, nicely. Another tricky corner, isn't it, that one? You've got to sort of position your car so that when you're actually braking for it, you're braking in a straight line. So if you still move in the steering wheel, you tend not to get the braking enough and you run wide. Third for the final corner, he gets his time in. For the moment, it puts him up to P13. The Alpine itself's definitely got a lot more in him, and knowing Top Gotcha, he's got a lot more in him, so no doubt he could go a lot quicker than that. Can, unfortunately, on the 144.2, I think Can may struggle a bit to get through this Q1 if all the other drivers get a lap in. But believe me, Can, as somebody who drives the Haas in 2 other realistic leagues, if you actually qualified 16th when there's a full grid, you'd be over the moon. So it's not the worst. Pretty much your strategy if you're in a Haas is get to the end, and you never know, you might be in the points. Of course though, my other leagues that I'm in for realistic are F1 scoring points. They're not the Arc point scoring system. So in Arc you get points if you finish. Just get to the end and you will pick up points, which is one of the reasons I love Arc so much, because it rewards finishing and, you know, encourages people to keep going even if they're having a bad race, because you're going to pick something up if just for finishing. So I think that's great. El Capitan then across the line is going to put in a clean lap in the 139s. Yeah, 139.0 goes P10. So Can is on an out lap because, I mean, one thing I will say, he's on a 144.2. I can tell you now, the Haas, he can go quicker than that. He can go quicker, the Haas can go quicker. While Top Gotcha is on a 40.1, Can does have a chance of getting into Q2. So I think when he goes onto a hot lap, we'll ride on board with Can and see how he gets on. But yeah, he's definitely capable of getting into Q2 with that car, with the timings as they are right now. So I think... Oh, Bertie's into the pits. Let's ride on board with Top Gotcha. He's 4.5 temps down actually, so he might be coming into the pits. sure. Stick with him because he's the driver at risk. Generally with the Haas, by the way, most tracks it's sort of 2.8 to 3.2 seconds slower than a Mercedes or a Red Bull. Obviously, Abu Dhabi is one of the longest laps of the season. Not the longest, but it's up there as one of them. And I guess the longer a lap is, the further behind the Haas is going to be from the top cars. So having looked through the calendar, I won't go through all the races that are left, but it is looking pretty impressive as I think Can's on a hot lap, Joe, so I don't know what's going on there. Hopefully these guys have got... I have no idea what's going on. Who's that now? Somebody else is in the mix as well now. That's El Capitan, but I think he's done a lap. I think the start of Can's lap's been a bit messed up, and I think maybe Joe didn't realise it was on a hot lap, was maybe invalidated, tried to get out of the way of Can, but it's not quite worked, so hopefully he's got enough fuel to be able to go again. He can comfortably get round, as long as he's put enough fuel in the car. The red light's not on, so I suggest he probably has. At the moment, our pole man Jon Snow 136.4 in the Mercedes. I think the overall pole position when we get to Q3, I think we'll be looking at mid 135s. Be my prediction. Might be a little bit much actually. No, I'm going to up that a little bit and say 35. Sort of higher 35s, 35.7, 35.8, something like that, I'm going to say. So, Can, who we are on board with, is coming through the final couple of corners to see if he can put that lap in. That will see him into Q2. Will be the last opportunity. He's run wide in the first corner, so not a great start to the lap. I must admit, as I said, I was doing time trial earlier on, and I had to try so many different setups to get one that I actually liked, and it turned out I was trying all this. I was trying Veils, I was trying Kenyans, I was trying Thunderbolts, many different ones, Master Spreads, trying many different people's setups. In the end, I stuck the one that I did my previous best lap with, and said, that's much better. Why do I ever try using theirs? So I stuck my old one on, just changed the downforce slightly on it. And I've managed, so far I took a 3.5 temps off earlier on today, so... And Can is way up, 1.1 seconds up at the moment. Needs to find a lot of time in the final sector to actually make it through, but it's a much better lap in terms of representing his pace. It's one of those with the Haas, unfortunately. Obviously we gave it to a quick pair. Can's teammate Fuggish is one of the quickest guys in the league, so it's a hard one, but Can, please don't despair. You will end up in a faster car, so don't. It's just a couple of races, buddy. Don't lose heart. So we lose Can in Q1, but as I said, Can on a full grid, that would be a good qualifying position. So, and who knows? Sometimes it's better to start at the back in races if there's a bit of argy-bargy at the start. Can is, for whatever reason, deciding to do an extra lap, and he's a 10th up at the end of sector 2. So Kant is a very quick driver, and it's in a Ferrari, so I'm expecting a touch wood. I'm expecting a strong result from Cam today. He'll definitely be one of the people in with a chance of winning this race. But I think there's quite a few people in with a chance of winning this race as he goes P1, and that will be the end of Q1. So everybody through except Can, who's done a sterling job in the past, but not through on this occasion. Surprised to see a couple of people running mediums in Q1. Bertie decides to do that in English. That would suggest to me they're probably not got any intention of running mediums in Q2, which gives away the strategy a little bit. But there you go. Talking of strategy, Abu Dhabi. Well, there's only two options. It's a two-stop, soft medium or soft medium, or a one-stop medium to hard. But even it's quite high on tyre wear, so a one-stop medium to hard probably isn't the quickest way to go around this track. I know it's what I tried in the realistic Haas, and I just fell short of picking up a point. I finished 11th. So it didn't quite work how I'd hoped, but it's not a bad finishing position for realistic Haas, to be fair. But it's the only race that I've taken part in that I haven't scored points, so it still remains a bit of a black spot on the season for me. Looks like there's a Mercedes coming out, so that's Jon Snow, wants to be first on track. He's got a set of softs on, but I'm going to suggest that is the same set he's used in Q1. And then what he'll do is sort of set a target time, if you like, here on the softs, and that won't be particularly fast, and then he'll come out on the mediums. Because I think he likes to sort of have that target to head towards. So he was first out, so we may as well ride on board with him. I'm just going to disappear for a moment. We'll be back in a moment. Okay, so back with you guys. Oh, Jon Snow's had a moment just as I rejoin you. He smashed the wall. His front wing has come off. But somehow, again, that's the second incident we've seen in qualifying where it's been a bit of a... I can't actually believe he's still going after that hit. I have put the damage rate on. We've been trying a few things within ARC to settings wise to try and sort the lobbies out, to be honest, because the last 2 to 3 weeks they've been absolutely horrendous. Glitches and all sort of it. I won't go into it too much, but we've been playing around with the settings, and we put damage rates reduced, safety cars on reduced, ghosting is on, but collisions are on, so they won't literally be overtaking each other by ghosting. It will only come on if somebody's had an incident, or if they're being lapped. That's the only 2 occasions it should come on. Reaper on board the Aston Martin. Why, that is invalidated. Oh, he was on a decent lap there as well, Reaper. That has invalidated. I do wish the game... Why does it only remember to keep the track map up between sessions? So annoying. Let's have the tyres up on this one as well, because I don't know what people are trying to qualify on. So English goes fastest on a 37.0. Stick with Reaper because he's she invalidated that last lap, so I'd imagine he's going to try and go again. Zyphon's P2 on a 37.8, but on the mediums, so that's a decent lap. Birdie and P3 on the softs in the McLaren, 38.8. Gaza 39.1 on the mediums. And Arc Runner's just pops in a 38.4 on the mediums. That's a decent lap from Arc Runner. Puts with P3 for the moment. It's going to be some decision making, I think. There's definitely going to be some drivers that maybe not in the positions they usually find themselves in, because of the pace difference in cars, rather than equal. There's bound to be some drivers that maybe find themselves in positions that they're not necessarily used to fighting for, whether it be because they're higher up the grid than normal or further down. It's bound to happen this evening and through the season. So I don't know why I'm still on board with Arc Runner. Let's get off of that one. Arc Reaper, sorry, I was not Runner. Looks to me that Arc Runner might be... No, he's not. He's turned his ERS off, so he's definitely not doing another lap. Is there anybody on a lap right now? The faintest cub is a few attempts up on his previous attempts. So we're right on board with him in P9 currently. Yeah, I think he must have backed out on his first attempt because it's a 44.3 on the softs, so... And Williams is faintest. Also reserving for us tonight, so again, thank you very much to him. Of course, everyone that's done that for us this evening. He did ask. He did say at the end, just as we were readying up, he said, "Oh, I'm in a Williams. There's an Alpine free. Can I have the Alpine?" I said, "No, it's done on a specific order. I need you to stay in a Williams." So he was trying his best to get out of Williams, but if you reserve for us again in future, faintest, I'll make sure you get a better car, buddy. He crosses the line for a 39.6 and moves up into P7 for the moment. So it's going to be interesting how people go. Arc Runner was 7 tenths up at the end of sector 2. 5.5 seconds up, goes into P3 on the mediums. That's much better from Reaper. Obviously, he invalidated the first lap, didn't he? We saw it, so that's his second attempt. Although it says 3 laps, so maybe he's done an additional lap again, I think. Snow, and that's right, I haven't ridden on board with Mark yet, so we're on board with Mad Mark. On his return to Arc, he used to race with us. I didn't know him, he left Arc before I joined, but I know him in another league where he was a very, very competitive driver. And has picked me a couple of times this season already, once at Japan and once at Jeddah. So he's gone, well, he's just dropped to P9, somebody else went quicker. Oh no, he's jumped back up to P8 because El Capitan has retired from the session on track trying to see where he is. I can't see. Oh, he's just round. There's a Mercedes just going past him. I'm not going to get there in time. But it's on that turn 3, is it? The long sort of right-hander in sector 1. So that will mean that El Capitan is out of qualifying. It just depends where he qualifies now. So at the moment, Faintest Cub is the driver in danger, even though he's P9. So Jon Snow goes fastest on a 36.1, putting Faintest Cub out. So if you're below El Capitan, you will need to do a faster lap than him in order to get above in qualifying and reach the next session. As we now ride on board with the other Mercedes of Mario. Oh, nice through there. That's decent. Ooh, too much curb. Push through left-hander. Keeps it going. Looks like he's on target for about a 38, I would say. A bit quicker, 37.6. So he puts that Mercedes into P3 on the mediums. So a decent run there from Mario. As Gaza is now currently would be out in the Williams. Mind you, starting P11 in the Williams wouldn't be the worst thing in the world with a tyre choice. But the driver at risk now is Birdie, who is in the pits. Fortunately, because I seem to have continuous yellow flags going on. I can't actually see the session time to see how long we got, but as Gaza crosses the line and moves that Williams up into P7. That's a great lap from Gaza. And now the Ferraris are in trouble. Potentially, Bertie is in trouble first in the McLaren, who's in the pits. So El Capitan actually is officially now in 11th place. So we will have 10 drivers in the next parts of qualifying. I'm pretty sure English, who's in P2, has retired that in the pits. There's no instance on the track that I can see. Mark is on an outlap in the Alpha. Faintest Cub also in the other Williams. So Gotcha's gone into the Mercedes garage. You can't have. There was definitely a car going in and I was on top Gotcha. Oh, Andrew's having a moment across all the bumps. It hasn't invalidated him actually, and interestingly enough, he was pretty level with his previous time, so we will stay on board with Andrew, see if we can improve in the Alpha Tauri. Well, he hasn't got the... It'll be difficult for him because he hasn't got any energy, and he ain't got any fuel, so I'm actually going to give up on that one. So I'm going to get through. The McLaren of Art Bertie is now out on an outlap, and I can finally see the session time, so we've got just over 2 time for the guys that have actually got out on track to get round and start a lap. I don't think anybody who tries to leave the pits now is likely to succeed in getting round. So Faintest just invalidated there. Don't know if he's got enough fuel to maybe give it another go. Should do. As he's invalidated, let's go on board then with the Alfa Romeo instead. Just over half a tenth up at the second. Sorry, at the end of this first sector. Needs to be fine. In order to get into Q3, he needs to find effectively 7 tenths of a second. So it's a tall order, but he's found a bit more. Found a further 3 attempts and two. Very nice through the S. And nicely on the power out of the left-hander, so late on the brakes, but dying nicely into second. Oh, he's just invalidated! I think he was genuinely on with a chance there as well. It looks such a tidy lap. He must have been close. T81 would have seen him into, if he's listening, he probably don't want to know, but it would have seen him into P6. Oh dear. So unlucky, Mark, to invalidate that part of the track. Faintest Cub. Then we saw invalidate the last lap. Let's see how he gets on here. So for Faintest, he needs to find 8 attempts. He's slightly down at the end of sector 2, so obviously, yeah, those softs have done 3 laps around Abu Dhabi. That's a high amount of tyre wear on those softs already. Andrews gets himself out of the way, but he might not be able to get through into Q3, but he may be able to gain a position with Mark. He's went through the final corner nicely on the power, and I think he is, yep, he does move into 12th. Picks up 3 attempts in the end, and goes P12 on a 39.3. Now Mark did get across the line in time, so he is going to have one last chance, but you can see the difference. I think he might be about to take that position back, but yeah. Oh wow, okay, that's what a lap that is from Mark. Up into P7, he's knocked out the McLaren. Mark Bertie, who I'm sure must have thought for all the world he was safe. But the Alfa Romeo has found a huge amount of time in the final sector. Whole second in the final sector. Moves him into P7, and Mark will take part in Q3, which is outstanding in the Alfa. Real standout performances in the lower cars that we've seen there. So we've got Jon Snow, English, Arc Runner, Mario, Zyphon, Reaper, Mark, Job, Gaza and Kant all through. So we have an Alfa Romeo into Q3, we have a Williams into Q3, which basically means you now cannot moan about your cars, guys, okay, because you got into Q3, so you're not allowed. Other than that, we have 1 McLaren, we have 2 Ferraris, 1 Kant only just scraped through in the Ferrari. That would have been a huge surprise. He scrapes through by just over 1/10 of a second, so we've got a couple of Mercedes, a couple of Red Bulls. But a great job. Plaudits there, obviously go to the Alfa Romeo and the Williams drivers for getting their cars into Q3. Look like a Mercedes. I expect that's Jon Snow again. He seems to be pretty quick at getting out of pits, doesn't he, to do a lap, so I'm just going to leave it for a moment again. Okay, back with you. See, there's been a bit of commenting going on. English is questioning his own race pace, but he says he's good over 1 lap. Joe said, "Let's go, Birdie." Q3 shootout. I need to find out that Birdie's out. That's one outstanding lap from the Alpha of Mark. Yeah, Birdie said he thought he was through, but no. Go get first, Joe. See if he can. You know the McLaren's no slouch. Only the Mercedes, the Red Bull and the Ferrari are rated as better cars in the game, but I think, personally, I don't know about you guys, but in real life, I think the McLaren was a better car than the Ferrari last season. Obviously, the Ferrari looks outstanding so far this year. So, we'll see if that goes for the whole season. You'd imagine with all the new, like, what do you call them? You know, all the new rules and all that sort of thing that they put into real Formula 1. If there's any season where teams might make some huge gains throughout the season, this is probably the one you'd expect it in. So, let's go see onboard camera, because that camera's terrible. As John just comes over, he knows nothing, but can he do something as he crosses the line on a 36.5, so slower than he managed in Q2, but he may well have been using the used set of tyres there. We've got next, somebody else has crossed the line. Reaper's just crossed the line on a 47.5, Mark crosses on a 38.0. There is a Ferrari, if I can get to it in time, not quite. Kant across the line on 37.3. Somebody else just crossed the line. It was English, sorry, on a 37.5. To Zyphon. And the Red Bull just coming round the right-hander. Okay, so Zyphon's gone P2 on a 36.6, so only 800ths off of provisional pole. Arc Runner and Mario have both taken to... Sorry, no, Mario's taken to the pits. Arc Runner's actually only just coming out. So both Ferraris into Q3, nice to see. Ant, for as long as he remains in a Ferrari, I think we'll do that every week. Although, of course, he was the closest to actually getting eliminated in the last session. But Arc Runner, Q3, no offence to him, but Q3 is a very good performance from Runner. So that's what his job for the team would be. We'll see. We have our favourite track, so for all we know, Abu Dhabi might be one of his favourites. Kind of assuming everybody's pitting, because you ain't got time to do 2 laps and then come in for a new set of boots to do another lap. So you might be able to, but it's a bit of a squeeze. So I would suggest it's just going to be a case of out lap, hot lap, in lap. The second run you can do a second lap on, but as I say, the wear on the sauce is so high at Abu Dhabi that you will not be able to do a quicker time on a second lap unless, of course, you've messed the first one up. So we're on board with our runner, who's just about to start his first flying lap of the session. Nicely free turn one, takes it nice and acute on the power. Whatever you do, don't touch the inside curb. Oh, there's a... I think that was a fellow. Oh no, that was Job. It's out the way anyway, so it didn't affect the lap. Easily good through the hairpin onto the straight. Power was on quickly. Lap's looking decent so far. Just get some details up now, so we want us to be able to see the split times when we start looking at the other drivers. So tyres aren't needed. We need any other information on that, so leave that one off. Look at that. Go. So Job up in P6 at the moment, Birdie. He's not doing a bad job in the McLaren. Kind of where you'd expect a McLaren to be, really. About P6, P7, P8. Yeah, I suppose the Ferrari should be 5 and 6, so anything above 7th for McLaren is a job very well done. As runners, laps look pretty good. Gotta be honest, it's looked clean. He's going to cross the line on a 37.4, which puts him P4. Let's go to Mario, who is on a hot lap as well. He's just taken a bit much curb through there, which has affected his entrance into the right-hander. It is one of those sector 3, or particularly this part of sector 3, if you get one part wrong, it seems to affect the whole of the rest of the sector. It's all about rhythm. As he crosses the line on 140.1, we'll leave him in 10th. Oh, it was invalidated anyway, actually, I hadn't realised that. Jon Snow's now on his second attempt, and he's pretty level with his previous time, ever so slightly down, but nothing to really talk about. And to the end of sector 2, he's nearly half a second up, so he's gained a huge amount of time in sector 2. He's gained a full half second. It's a bit wide out of there, would have struggled to get on the power. He's heading, well, I predicted a high 35 for pole, and he could well. Hasn't invalidated, but it was close. Don't think this is going to break into the 35s. Say 36.1, so he does go faster and improves that time. He may continue on. But let's look at English, who's just started his second run. The AlphaTauri, so again the AlphaTauri rated just below the McLarens in the game, so really anything, well, their positions should be 9th and 10th, shouldn't they? So P3 at the moment. English doing a great job. So Man Mark's retired out of this session. That is in the pits. I can see his car in the pits, so he's not lost it on track or anything like that. As English comes towards the end of the second sector, just at the end of the straight, and he is 2 tenths down at the moment. It's nice through the S though. Bit too much curve is going to affect his exit speed. Nice through the right-hander. I did look up the corner names, by the way, for Abu Dhabi, so I could tell you some corners, but I'm not going to lie, I couldn't pronounce them, so there's no point. And English does back out. I think he feels the third sector just wasn't going to gain him anything, so he's backed out. We go on board with Kant, who is just half a tenth down on the first sector, but that's nothing. We'll see how he gets on. And effectively, this second sector is, I suppose it's a long straight cut in half by a chicane. It's basically the second sector. He comes across the second sector line, 3 tenths down, and that's gonna, yeah, I think we can definitely rule out any improvement now, as he has a little wobble. I think that's it. He was the only one left on a lap, so that is going to be qualifying. So Jon Snow takes the first ever Tier 4 pole position in a Mercedes. Zyphon in P2 in the Red Bull. English in a brilliant P3 in the AlphaTauri. Kant in P4 for Ferrari. Arc Runner, so the Ferrari's 4th and 5th, doing a great job. Mario in P6 in the other Mercedes. Arc Reaper takes P7 in... I can't remember what car I stuck him in. What car did I stick you in? Was it an Alpine Reaper? I can't remember. Job in the McLaren is P8. The Alfa Romeo of Mark will start P9, which was already a great job. And he's picked up another place ahead of the Williams of ARL Gaza. So, that is qualifying. We will have a 5-minute break, guys. I've got to just put this in chat a second. Let's just put it in. Okay, so we will go at 21:03. Oh, the everyone tag hasn't worked for some reason. Let's try that again. Yeah, advance the setup, Zyphon. That's it. You got it, Zyphon. Right, so this is my chance to grab another coffee to get me through the race. So I'm just going to do that now. We'll be back with you shortly. And again, a massive thank you to all of you for tuning in. Oh wow, we're up to 16 viewers, which is great. So thank you very much. And we'll be back with you. So we'll be going at 3 minutes past 9. Right, hello everyone. Just got a couple of minutes. Um, just before we start again, I know because there's a lot more viewers now than there was earlier on in the stream, so I'm just gonna reiterate a couple of things before we go into the race, just to let you know that this is the first ever Tier 4 race in Arc. Our Tier 4 is a completely separate tier, which is on realistic performance. So the cars are set to realistic performance, basically. So the Red Bulls, Mercedes are the fastest cars, etc., going all the way down. Thank you to everyone that's tuning in and that watches the stream back in a way, because it's a massive help. I know everybody who's racing tonight wants to put on the best race they can for you, so hopefully we get through that turn 3 on that one and we should be okay. I think that's the killer one at the start of the race. But other than that, we should be all right. I'm just putting the message out. Yeah, so the cars you see them in tonight actually aren't their real. They may not always be in those cars, and this will be re-evaluated after every 2 races. However, their teammates will remain the same throughout the whole of the season. They have actually chosen their own team names, so why not? Let's have a little look at those. So let me bring the app up a second. Stream to the side. Countdown has begun. There is no formation lap set. It is go straight away. So we are at 5 lights for the first ever Tier 4 Grand Prix, and the Mercedes looks like it's got off the line the quickest, followed by the Red Bull. Somebody just ghosting there. I think it was English who was just ghosting a little bit, but he's back and he's going. Looks like he's going to hold on to P3. Let's just move back to that one because they're side by side, the Alpha and the Ferrari of Kant. But English fights it off on this occasion into the chicane. Looks like, just looking back, it looks like everybody's got off all right. A quick mention for Can in the Haas has leapt from 16th up to 12th to start. What a job. What a great job. So far, all's good. So Jon Snow and Zyphon have gotten away from these guys because English and Kant have been fighting, and it's just allowed the front 2 to pull out a bit of a gap, as you can see. That's bound to happen if you fight. Let's get some details out. Let's have the position changes from the start. So our biggest gainer, well, we've got 2 big gainers on the start, is Top Gotcha and Can, are both up 4 places, so a great start to the first ever race for them. Our biggest loser at the start was Reaper, who's now down 9 places, so that suggests to me that Reaper has probably taken damage at some point there. It's not a nice track to take damage on. It's quite a long race, this one. I hope they're all ready for it, because obviously 28 laps of one of the longest laps of the season. It's not just the fact it's one of the longest laps of the season, it's also the fact, yeah, so Reaper is in the pits, so he must have taken some damage. Can as well was in the pits, oh no! Can, who had started so brilliantly, had to pit as well. So they both get a new wing and a new set of soft tyres. And it looks like we have a battle at the front, which I'm so glad to see. There was a little bit of a worry that you may see people disappear a little bit. Fuggish has just said, Jon Snow for the Haas, Fuggish for the Merc. That's never happening in a million years. You can't miss races and get promoted, Fuggish. That's that's not how it works, mate, unfortunately. With poor teammates out there all alone, they need some help. At the moment, Kant and English look like they're the closest battle. Well, there is another one. There's Bertie is on the back of Mario, which is also close. But this is mighty close at the moment. Just 2 tenths between English and Kant. Jon Snow puts in the fastest lap of the race so far on a 39.4. DRS is now enabled. And you've got to say that once we get round to the straight, it shows the great driving from these guys though. It's complete trust from Kant. The English, you know, the English knows exactly what he's doing. He knows when he's braking. 100% trust in him. You've got to say that English is going to, once the DRS opens on the straight, surely isn't going to be able to defend this, even though that Ferrari engine is terrible for the 2021 season. Yeah, the DRS power is just too much. But what may well happen is we may well pick DRS back up now for the AlphaTauri. So this barrel could keep going for a while. Yeah, there he is. So he picks up the DRS on the second straight. He's going to take the place back into the S. So he goes side by side. Oh, there's a bit of contact from Kant. English is round. Is he back running? He is going. Surely he hasn't picked up any damage. It's just a spin. Because it was Kant that hit him with his front wings, so... yeah, it's, I would imagine that English aren't got any damage there. And plenty of time to pick those positions back up. Nice to see we haven't got any silly safety car or anything like that, as recent times that's been an issue. What has happened to Jon Snow? Can't even see him. Where is he? He must be there somewhere. I literally can't. Oh, sorry. Jon Snow is leading, of course. Who am I looking for then? Xiphon. So Xiphon's in the pits. I can only assume he's picked up some damage, and that's the reason he wouldn't be pitting just yet. The softs do disappear very, very quickly, but he's put on another set of softs. So, a lot going on. Yeah, I fancy English. He's already made up a position. Look, he's just got past the McLaren of Job. I totally think he's going to find his way back up the order pretty quickly. Let's get some different details. Let's have the tyres, please. Stops at the moment. So Reaper down at the moment. Reaper, Bertie, faintest can of almost stops. Xiphon is DNF'd. I don't know what's happened to him. All I can say is I'm glad it hasn't brought out a safety car. So far, so good. Let's get the telemetry on. Don't need the lap delta. Mario at the moment, the only one to pick up penalties. Let's get on the tyres. That's what I see really. Sector 1 and 2 yellows. I think there's a Mercedes stopped. Mario, he's across the grass. Doing a bit of grass cutting. So Mario's had a moment that's dropped him right down to P11. Mark Reaper, of course, had to stop. So a stop is quite a hefty chunk of time around here. As English now up into P4, ahead of Mad Mark, who's up there in the Alpha. Mark. Oh no, English! Is that a spin? Now he's dropped back down to 10th. Again, it doesn't look like he's taken any damage though, so I still think he can claw back up there. Just a little spin. The main thing is he doesn't have any damage, so we can get that going again. A few drivers off some really good starts here in this race. Up 5 is Mark up into P4 in the Alpha. Up 6, El Capitan. Top Gotcha up 8. Andrew's up 6. Siphon's the only one we've lost so far. So I don't know what happened to him, because he was in the pits and exiting the pits, everything was fine. Next minute he's gone. I don't know if he's had an incident actually exiting the pits or not. And perhaps we'll find out post-race. Can still go in at the moment. Automatically up one place because somebody's DNF, so that's a gain. It's nice to see one of the Haas guys out there trying their best this evening. As Matt Reaper gets past Mario, who is into the pits. And the Mercedes, it is the right sort of time. He's back out on a set of softs as well. I can't work out strategies when they're doing this. I don't know why you'd be going on a set of softs at this point in the Grand Prix. Surely it'd be medium. But because presuming you're going to do roughly the same amount of laps again on this set of softs, you're not going to take a set of mediums 16 laps at Abu Dhabi. So it's a bit strange. There's a battle going on a bit further down. The Williams has the AlphaTauri. And the AlphaTauri is round once again. He spins back round. I don't think, again, it didn't look like it was something that was going to cause any damage. So you get going again. Still in P10, so still going. And English, oh, he's up to P9. What happens to Job? He's going slow, he must have run out wide. Birdie picks up a few seconds. And Mark is into the pits. So I think this might actually be our first scheduled pit stop of the race. So I don't think any of the others were actually scheduled ones. So Mark into the pits, sticks on a set of hards. So Mark is planning to go to the end. I can tell you, this many laps on a set of hards, it will be a struggle at Abu Dhabi. There's no doubt. The pace difference is a lot, but perhaps because he's under, he's got the pace of the Alfa Romeo underneath him, perhaps he thinks not having to pit again would be the best way of gaining time. He's got the McLaren behind him, a Job, who's on 6-lap old softs, so I actually wouldn't be surprised to see the hard tyres quicker at this point. That's how quick the softs deteriorate here. Joe picks up the DRS. We've got a yellow in sector 2. Is it Bertie? I think it is, yeah. He's had a moment around the hairpin by the looks of it. So Joe didn't get Mark on the first straight, and he's not going to get him here. He's way too far back. Just needs to try and get that gap down. And he's got to try and stick with Mark, but those hards will be starting to warm up. Most tracks, I'd say the hards can take 2 or 3 laps to settle in. Abu Dhabi, it probably doesn't take that long. 1 lap most, I would say, and they'll be settling in. Joe desperately trying to stay within the second, but look, Mark is getting away. I can promise you those softs will be feeling horrible right now. And Jon Snow's gone on to another lap. I suppose he's got some time. Kant's bringing that gap down, mind. It was a lot higher earlier on, so Kanti is bringing that gap down significantly. Arc Runner Spacing out a bit at the moment. Gotta be honest, we are spacing out a bit at the moment. Capitan happens to a fantastic 4th place in the Aston. There's a nice gap over Top Gotcha in the Alpine, going very well as well. But we must start seeing pit stops. Let's watch this gap between English and Mark. Yeah, shame Fuggish, but he's still going and he's in P8, so it's not the end of the world. Mark is, it's not by much, but he is just gradually bringing that gap down to English, despite being on hard tyres. It just really shows deterioration of the softs. As Jon Snow just goes on to another lap, but Arc Runner has had enough and he's into the pits. So one of the Ferraris are in. Whether they are speaking to each other or not, I don't know. But that's a set of mediums that's gone on that Ferrari. And I Fuggish, you've got recent experience of doing this race. I haven't. Will mediums go to the end from here? Oh, hang on. How would you know? You went on lap 1, didn't you? Forgot about that. As English comes into the pits and sticks a set of mediums on. So he's going to be quick for a while. So the people that were ahead of him on track need to think about that. You know, it's a say that's going to be Mario. Yeah, Mario's round. And look at that. There's a good example of why to have ghosting on as English goes flying through him. Not crashing because of the ghosting, which is great. And what we want to see. Gaza picks up corner cutting penalty. Penalty is starting to mount up now. You'd expect. We got. This is an interesting one. Not so long ago, I was saying there's a big gap between everyone at the moment. And now we've got a 3-car train led by Mario, Bertie. Oh, come on, guys, make sure you leave each other room, please. No harm done. It doesn't look like Faintus Cub suffered any damage there, so no harm done. As Gaza and Andrews both decided it's time to get off the softs. But Jon Snow has gone for another lap. I suppose he's got the gap, hasn't he? I mean, it's gone. It's down over another second now, so Kant is really catching him. But as Bertie comes into the pits in the McLaren, moving Faintus Club into 13th, he's going to gain some more, is he? The other McLaren is basically underneath him right now, so he goes past the other McLaren. McLaren's pitting the same lap. Joe was pitted to mediums, whereas Bertie's opted for the hards. Andrews, by the way, up into P8 in the AlphaTauri. AlphaTauri running now 7th and 8th. Strong race at the moment for AlphaTauri, both on fresh tyres. Interestingly, Andrews has opted for another set of softs, so he's obviously going with a soft medium approach. Mark just quietly going about his business. Oh, what's that? That's a... Is it a Ferrari, I think? I'm not sure. I think that was Kant's. Yeah, it was. Kant's had a moment because he's now 10 seconds behind Jon Snow. So that was definitely Kant in the Ferrari that's had a moment there. Into the pits comes Top Gotcha from 5th, promoting the Alpha up into P5. An outstanding day so far. And bear in mind, there's no doubt that Mark's plan is that he is going to the end on that set of hards, so it's going to be interesting. Certainly looks as if Jon Snow's trying to push those softs as far as he can. Is that a car? Did I just see a car? Nope. Seeing things. Yeah, Jon Snow I think is literally just saying, like, I'm just going to push these. I've got such a big gap now. I'm just going to push these and push these. Maybe as far as Canty takes the mediums. We're now at a stage of the race where, well, Sauce will just be feeling dead now after 10 laps. So John is the only one that's attempted that. But the mediums will now be feeling pretty horrible as well. They're not going to be feeling tip-top condition in a way. The hards right now will probably be feeling the best they're going to feel for the whole stint. For Mark, so I think there's a McLaren was round, it was chicane, that was Job. He's had a little moment of a chicane. There was a car ahead of him, Reaper I think. So whether they did make any contact. Oh, we've lost a Ferrari! Kant is out! Kant is out. He retired in the pits. So what? I don't know what's just happened to Kant. That looked like a retirement in the pits. In P2. I have to ask him afterwards. So, Can at the moment still going around. He'll be wanting to see as many retirements as possible. Every retirement that happens sees him and Haas pick up more and more points. So, the more, as far as he's concerned, the more the better. I will be looking to find out from Jay Kant as to why he's retired. His car wasn't on the main straight, so I can only assume he's done that in the pits. As Jon Snow finally makes his pit stop at the end of lap 12, off of softs onto mediums, so he's clearly going to the end, there's no doubt about that. This runner just has a little bit of an awkward moment for the right-hander. Mark now 15 seconds off the Ferrari. The Ferrari at this stage will be quite a bit quicker. Not just because it's a Ferrari, but 3-lap-old mediums are obviously going to be quicker than the 5-lap-old Ferrari. Yeah. So far, what race we've had, let's just drop down a second, because Mario is catching Gaza. It's a Mercedes catching a Williams. And just within the DRS zone. Said that. He's not going to get the move done there, actually, so let's go to Reaper, who is, as you can see, right on the back of Faintest Cub. So this is an Aston Martin against a Williams. We should see, well, and Faintest Cub is basically out of energy. He could actually become vulnerable to Top Gotcha. Well, now Faintest Cub will get the DRS off a Reaper. Job catching up to this as well. I think that's just a bit too much of a gap. Reaper should be able to defend this pretty comfortably. Don't even have to defend really. As McLaren is just trying to latch onto the back of this. He needs to pick up half a second to get in the DRS zone himself, and we'll have a little train going on. Club breaks down, and so Reaper has made that position. He needs a couple more attempts just to be safe from the DRS, and it looks like he's just gained that now, so he gets out of the DRS zone. Top Gotcha is going to be, by the time we get back round to the straight again, it's going to be right on the back of Faintest Curb, you feel. It's got to be said at the moment that Jon Snow in the McLaren, in the Mercedes is looking strong. So Mario, and he's making a move. Is that clever from Faintest Curb? Has he done that early enough to pick up the DRS? No, he didn't. So he's now going to be vulnerable to the McLaren. I think that's what it was. I think it was a deliberate attempt to get the DRS, but it didn't work. So he loses out then to the McLaren. He moves into P11. So now he'll pick up DRS. Has the McLaren got DRS as well from Top Gotcha? He has. Nowhere near close enough for a move. Faintest Curb goes over. Ooh, just added a bit of oversteer there, but corrects it nicely. Bertie going along nicely. And I think having a bit of a lonely one. It's just the nature of it, unfortunately. He just needs to get himself to the end on this one. It is a track where if you're in a Haas or a Williams or whatever, you're gonna struggle to make a massive impact, particularly the Haas. And the reason I say that is because I'm speaking from experience here. The Haas is so underpowered in a straight line, and with these two long straights, you literally, just on the straights, you lose almost a second on the straight every lap. So it's just, to be honest, it's soul destroying. To be honest, so English is now back up into P3, having got past Mark. Mark's going to pick up the DRS. Not sure he's going to particularly want to make a move here. He's just taking his best possible line into the corner. He's going to let English have that position, because right now, on those hards, he can get to the end. He's going to be chased down by El Capitan, but he's on soft, so he's not going to the end. Andrews almost certainly as well won't be going to the end. It's going to be interesting to see who tries to push their tyres out. I would suggest that if El Capitan, we saw from Jon Snow, who pitted on lap 12, for El Capitan to get to the end, he'd have to go a bit longer than that. He's already done 3, so he'd have to do 16 laps, so it's a big ask. I just can't see it, really can't see it. As the second Mercedes went, Mario is into the pits. So this should be a set of mediums to the end, and it is. So that's that Mercedes final stop of the race. I don't think the other Mercedes is going to be making a stop. He's on those mediums to the end now. Let's go on board with Joe, who's caught up to the back of Top Gotcha. Oh, he just outbraked himself a bit there with Joe, but he took evasive action very well. Fortunately, I think it dropped him out of the DRS. But it's not an issue. Just gather yourself back up and get going again. Got the pace over the Alpine in front in that McLaren, so just gather yourself up and go again. So did he actually get close enough for the DRS? No. So because of that, we're just going to switch to El Capitan, as Andrews just has a little run-off. El Capitan has now caught up to the back of the Alpha. As I said, it's going to take a monumental effort to get a set to the end from when he pitted. But I mean, yeah, you know, look at it. He's not exactly flying up onto the gearbox, is he? It just shows how quick those softs go off. A set of 4-lap softs to a set of 9-lap hards around most tracks. The soft guy would be so much faster. But around here, those softs will already be feeling a bit jaded, whereas the hards, they will be. No, in fact, they probably will still be feeling pretty good. Obviously, we're going to see the RS. To be honest, El Capitan, I don't think Mark's that interested in fighting with you. Let's just take the racing line. As we've got a yellow in sector 3, it's a McLaren, and they are out. It's Bertie in the McLaren. There's a Mercedes that is just coming round past there. He's lost it on the penultimate corner just before the pit entry, and we finally have a safety car, but it's a virtual safety car. So, unlucky for Art Bertie, who, like Mark, had opted to go for the hards that would have definitely gotten to the end, so he may well have been online to pick up a few positions under pit stops. But there's definitely one man on the grid that would be happy to see another retirement, and that is the Haas of Cannes. I'm not saying for a second he actually wants people to retire, but every person that does is an extra position for both him and Haas. Of course, if his teammate had bothered to turn up, then they might be doing a bit better again, but never mind. Apparently the pigs are more important. Shot balls? What does shot balls mean? I guess it's not good, Bertie, but what does it mean? Shot balls. Or was it because you just didn't want to swear on stream? Pitters all around. It's only a virtual safety car, guys. Our runner is in for mediums. So that the only person, or the main person that may be affected by this. Well, I was going to say Mark, but he's pitted himself for a set of mediums. I'd have been tempted not to. I'd have carried on, because El Capitan wasn't very far out the road. As Jon Snow pits, he's got a free pit stop. He's 40 seconds up the road because Art Runner pitted. He's got a free pit stop, and he stick on another set of softs now and guarantee the fastest lap by doing so, basically. Nate asking him playing snooker. To Birdie, shot balls. Shot balls. See, this was the problem we had when we're trying to select cars, is for the teams to drive, is obviously Jon Snow is clearly too fast to be in a Mercedes, but Mario looks ideally placed, and Mario's out. The second Mercedes is out of the race, and this is going to bring a full safety car. The one thing Jon Snow wouldn't have wanted, although I'm sure he'd still be confident on his fresh tyres. It's an odd place to lose it as well, where Mario's lost it. It's round on to, in sector 3, round the it's on the bit going round to the hard braking right-hander. There's no one near him, unfortunately, so I can't go on board with anyone. Yeah, runner on for a podium. Great to see. To be quite honest, I think he'd be cursing. I think because he'd have been over the moon to start the season with a P2, so he'll be cursing his luck that they're all going to be shoved back up together again here. Because I think he'd have taken P2 every day of the week to start the season. So once again, another place for Can and Haas. So he will be up to P12, but not only that, of course, he's going to be... Is he going to be on the back of the pack, or has he been lapped? It's a good question. And he's just here. That's English. So I think, unfortunately, Can's been lapped. Arc Runner has come into the pits, presumably to put on a set of softs. He is sticking on a set of softs, and that could be a very, very clever move. Mark Runner. John should be picking up. He's picked up the safety car, so he won't get a free pit stop this time. El Capitan, who had already put softs on, moves into P2 in the Aston. Arc Runner will rejoin the track in P3. Mark moves into P4 as English pits for a set of softs as well. So he's going to be rapid. Andrews nips ahead of him as well, so Andrews has nipped ahead of English, so but they are AlphaTauri, so these two are teammates, so you would imagine Andrews will allow English back on the restart, or you've got to be careful, you don't want to give up positions behind that. Some drivers behind. Gaz is already on a set of fresh set of mediums. He's happy with that. Faintest Cub stayed out. So got John fresh softs, but the back three as well all gone onto fresh tyres. Job onto fresh mediums, Reaper's onto fresh softs, and Can's onto fresh softs. So that's all good. Unfortunately for Can, he didn't get released, did he? Can't even see the safety cars around there by the pits. And now that's fortunately that's Faintest Cub, who is currently running P8. Oh, okay, yeah, I'm reading the timings wrong, so that Can is actually a minute and a half off of Reaper, who's in P11. But it doesn't matter, just keep it going, Can. Just keep yourself going to the end. You'll be picking up very nice points to start the season, buddy. So, John Snow's there. Reaper is going to be the last onto the safety car. He's just coming round towards the end of the lap now. The safety car is at the hairpin in sector 1. So, as Gaza decides to pit, so he pits a bit late. He's opted for a set of softs. He's lost out to Top Gotcha. Job is coming round turn 1. So Gaza will get out in front of him actually, quite easily. So, I suppose he's only lost one place, Gaza, so I think that's probably the right move, to be fair, to cover it off. Because he could well have been vulnerable to the people behind. Should be catching the safety car this lap. So Reaper's going to be last onto the safety car. Poor Can is going to be stuck in the middle of everyone. Be interesting actually. So ghosting should come into play. We've got a laps car that's in the middle of the pack. So ghosting should come into play and ghost that lapped car for everybody else. There's no issues. Not sure what happened, Mario, if I'm honest. It was a strange place for you to lose it, but I take it you must have been side by side with Reaper at the time. We didn't see it, buddy. Just saw your name suddenly grey out and start dropping down. So safety car in this lap, and Reaper just about joining the back of the grid. Let's go on board with our second place driver, who's El Capitan. The safety car has just reached the pit lane, so any time from now, oh, look at the way John positioned his car there to get a good restart. And he's really caught El Capitan a bit there. As English and Andrew swap places straight away. I am sure that was deliberate. Oh, Andrew's careful. I'm sure that was done deliberately between English and Andrews there. Right on board with Mark Runner. As Jon Snow's already pulled out a couple of seconds. It's not too surprising, he's up against an Aston Martin in P2, so, and we know John is quick. So, not able to do anything about the Aston at the moment, as English makes a move on Mark and makes it stick this time. I think Mark was pretty accommodating there. I think Mark's another one that's going to be cursing his luck, the fact that the safety cars come out and bunched them all back up, if I'm honest. He was looking on guaranteed for a great result for Alpha, or in the Alpha, but he's still on for a great result, of course, but he's actually got to fight for it now, whereas I don't think he would have needed to before. As Faint's Cub does get past Andrews, who's going to be susceptible to Gaza, who's on fresh softs. So Gaza's up into P7 in the Williams, and it looks like Andrews is going to be susceptible. He seems to have picked his pace back up now, so there's Reaper behind the McLaren as well. All a bit tight at the moment. Great racing so far. We've not seen too much in the way of contact. There was a couple of contacts early on in the Grand Prix that involved English. I think one was just a genuine, just racing incident. The other, it's a bit strange, but I think English was innocent. But it was, well, it's hard to say because they were going through the S, and it's always difficult through there. So still no DRS, of course. So I think from the next lap is when we're likely to start seeing some more moves. Oh, Andrews just runs a bit wide, but keeps it going. We won't look at the penalties just yet. We'll have a look right at just before the end. Let's go to Reaper, who's right on the back of Top Gotcha. Reaper will be desperate to get past here because he's losing so much time to the cars ahead. Top Gotcha, as you can see, has already used so much energy. He's basically out. I'm not sure what percentage it is that the light comes on at, but as you can see, he's on. Well, he's going round that right-hander with his ZRS switched on. What insane! And if it just clips the back, I don't think there was any damage caused. But I think we will see an overtake here on this straight. Reaper loads of ERS, opens the DRS, and it's a wave by. As Faintest Cub makes a move on Gaza into the chicane and makes up that place. And he seems to just get away from Gaza a little bit as well. There's a... Oh, English is off track. He's not hit anything, so he's still going and recovers in P4. He's have to catch back up to Capitan to see if we can pick up that penalty. Arc Runner does have a penalty, so as it stands actually, Arc Runner will fall off the podium. Oh, English has picked up a penalty. Ooh. Mark in the Alpha will be desperately trying to hang on to the back of this because he is penalty free and could well, if he can hang right on the back of this little pack of cars, he could well end up with a podium. So it's got to be done. As surely not going to make a move into turn 1, is he? No, not really. Had a sniff, but didn't really make a move. She slows down a bit and lets Faintest Cub disappear slightly, but looks like Andrews is still there. They're all still there, so we're still in a bit of a train. Gaz is going to get a better exit here, so this is going to be set up nicely. The DRS will open now. Energy is switched on. Not that he's got much of it. Switched on, and that's another wave by. As Reaper, we can see a move, was a bit of a dive. But I don't think they made contact. He lets Joe back through. That's great sportsmanship from the boss man. I realised maybe he was a bit wrong there, and it might be that he just missed his braking, of course. We weren't actually on board, so we don't know. Oh, it's English. Just look at this. It's great trust shown between the drivers, isn't it? To really drive on a gearbox like that, you have to put so much trust in both the other driver and your own ability to hit your braking points. Or maybe just before your braking points, really, if you're driving behind someone like that. Oh, El Capitan has a moment! I think he's recovered it. He has recovered it, but it's allowed English past. He really recovered that well, did El Capitan. That's the recovery of the race. We've added out. But it promotes English into P3. And El Capitan needs to get moving. Because he's got that penalty advantage. As in, he hasn't got any. Just basically 2.5 laps left. Oh, Mario's saying I was side by side. Come on, English lad. Go to Pokemons. Or Pokemoms. Lol. And people watching the stream that haven't got the slightest clue what you're talking about, because I mentioned that they've got different team names, but I didn't tell them who they were. I think next race, next week, I'll start mentioning team names, because I'll actually have positions that they're in and all that sort of thing. So, at the moment, runner still managing to hold off English. What else? Have we got any other close ones? Faintest Cub on the back. Oh, Andrews has gotten ahead of Faintest Cub. Up into P7. Right a bit high there. Leaves room for Faintest Cub on the inside. As he gets a better exit. And we'll hold on to P7 for the moment. Not a usual place to see an overtaking attempt to final corner, but Andrews had run wide, so I think that's why we saw it on that occasion. Andrews just looks like he's, well, he had looked like he'd gotten away a little bit and maybe able to protect down the straight. Just picked up 3 seconds and surely going to be susceptible, as Mad Mark in the Alpha's just gotten ahead of El Capitan into P4. So Faintest goes down the inside. Andrews did attempt to defend it down the outside. He's had a bit of moment out of the corner there, Andrews, and the McLaren is going to go past. The Aston's going to have a look as well. Andrews just had a little moment on the exit, and it just compromised his speed all the way along the straight. And he's lost those positions, but still a very good drive so far from Andrews. He remains still in P10 and has a 6-second gap to the car behind. We are on to the final lap. Jon Snow looking for victory in the first ever Tier 4 Grand Prix for ARC, as English has gotten ahead of a ARC runner into P2. So we have got some close battles going down. I don't want to miss those. Joe on the back of Faintest Cub. He's also in turn got Reaper on the back of him. Andrews is stuck with them as well. He's not letting them go. And it doesn't look like that's a... Oh, but Reaper goes wide on the exit. Otherwise he'd have had a much better exit. Top Gosha's already moved to the inside to defend... sorry, Faintest Cub. Look at the power of the Mercedes with the DRS... Sorry, the McLaren with the DRS open. Oh, I think Reaper takes some evasive action there and has run off track. Let's get the... Right, it's time to, I'm afraid, get the penalties up so we can see what's actually happening. So Reaper at the moment on 9 seconds, whereas Andrew's on 6. The car behind this is on 6, so they're not close enough. So Job, Faintest and Andrews are all on 3 seconds. Jon Snow has crossed the line to win the first ever Tier 4 Grand Prix for ARC. English has recovered several times actually, but will finish actually P4 due to... Oh, P5, tease. But did finish P2 on track. ARC Runner is promoted to P2, and Mark in the Alfa Romeo picks up a fantastic P3 and podium on the first race of the season. El Capitan P4, English in P5, Gaza P6, Job then crossed the line in P7 for McLaren, Faintest Cub P8 for Williams, Andrews across the line in P9. We've just had to back off out of that. It just looked like he had to avoid some contact, so Reaper will take P10. Faintest Cub, no, sorry, Top Gotcha P12, P11, and our man in the Haas of Cannes, held on to the end of the race and to pick up P12. Overall, the race has been fantastic. We've had one safety car. Yeah. Runner takes a podium. Delighted to see that, says Art Clay, which is fantastic. Congratulations to him. But congratulations to Jon Snow, our winner, and also takes the fastest lap, so we'll take the full 41 points available. Arc Runner in P2 for Ferrari. Mad Mark for Alpha, just in an outstanding P3 in an Alfa Romeo, and takes Driver of the Day without a shadow of a doubt. It's hard not to give it to John, to be fair, but I think a podium in an Alfa Romeo deserves Driver of the Day every day of the week. So El Capitan P4, English in P5, although did finish second on track. Gaza P6, Joe P7, Faintest Cub in P8, Andrews 9th, Reaper in 10th, Top Gotcha 11th, and our final finisher in P12 was Can in the Haas, picking up some great points. Well, for a first race, we've had one virtual safety car, one safety car, quite a lot of overtaking, very little contact. There was a bit here and there, but it wasn't a large amount. So overall, pretty pleased with the first race. It'd be great to have a full grid next week, hopefully, if we can. But yeah, overall, gotta say I'm pretty pleased. I hope people enjoyed it. Whether you were watching or whether you were taking part, I hope you all enjoyed it. As we said, we'll be doing everybody will keep the same cars for the first 2 races. It will then be reassessed, so please don't get your heart down that Jon Snow's just won that race by a mile. The fact is, he's not going to remain Mercedes, okay, so it will get changed about. Thank you as well, Prezi, for tuning in, and yeah, a very good race all round. Really happy with that, and I hope I'm about to find out, I suppose, but I hope the reaction in Discord is good as well. But a really successful and brilliant start to Tier 4 in ARC. So thank you very much, everyone. We will see you next week at the same time. Don't forget, we've got our Tier 2 race at 6 PM on Saturday and Tier 1 race at 8 PM on Saturday. Both Abu Dhabi. All the races are the same each week. So yes, that's the first ever Tier 4 Grand Prix at Abu Dhabi. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you on Saturday.